If you watch this movie, and I encourage you to watch this movie, it's free on Tubi. Go to the scene where Kathy's on the phone. She's just been rescued from the jacuzzi of doom, okay? She's got a white tank top, and you can see everything. And about maybe 12 inches from her boobs, it's Kane's head, right at boob level. You just see the back of his head, but he is, by God, locked on like a Sidewinder missile. I just thought, good work, son. Even if you're working today, pay attention to those boobs.
Remember when we first met John McClane? Argyle picked him up from the plane and took him down the Nakatomi Tower at the Christmas party. And the terrorists were overzealous, but it was sweet when they killed Ellis. And with a little help from Alan, John McClane kicked ass.
Welcome back to Chat the Movies, the podcast where we answer the question, were the movies we loved when we were growing up really that good? Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why don't they make movies like they used to? Can you still remember spending your Friday nights searching for the perfect movie rental at Blockbuster Video? Do you know what Blockbuster Video is? If you answered yes, then this is the podcast for you. I'm one of your hosts, Gene Lyons, and alongside is my co-host, Big D, Dick Ebert.
Good evening.
And each week, we take a look back in time and decide if our favorite films still hold up. The movies we cover are chosen by you, the listeners, who generously commission the films you love. If you like to see all the movies we have covered, will cover, or want to choose one for yourself, please visit chatpod.com and have a look. At the end of each podcast, we will provide you, the audience, with the number of wipes each movie takes to get off your respective butts. So thank you so much for listening. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and share with a friend. It's how we help the podcast grow. Additionally, subscribe to our sister podcast, Chat on TV, where we review TV series such as Westworld, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, True Detective, Lovecraft Country, and Watchmen. Find all our information and past episodes at chatpod.com/TV. And finally, if you'd like to hang out with us live, follow and subscribe to our Twitch channel, chatpod.com/Twitch, and our YouTube channel, where we play video games, host watch parties, edit this podcast live, and just recently released a live recording of Invictus, the 2009 Matt Damon Morgan Freeman vehicle. All that being said, Big D, what movie are we reviewing today?
Gene, that was recent. Very recent.
Yeah.
Very, very recent. So this is going to be like a great palate cleanser. This is going to be something to just change our mood. We're very excited because one of our great listeners, Jason M., wrote in and he identified a deficiency in the Shack catalog. And you think, after 375 movies, how could there be a deficiency? And there was, Gene. And it is clearly defined by this film. And he said, please go back to 1983 and review the American martial arts thriller, Revenge of the Ninja.
And Jason was kind enough to write in and said, what's up, my dudes? Longtime listener, longtime lurker. Your intro at the beginning of each episode always mentions Blockbuster. However, were any of you too poor to rent from Blockbuster? Growing up, Blockbuster Video was what separated the nobles from the peasants. A lot of folks in our area, myself included, could not afford the $5 rentals. Our place of rental was a dirty laundromat that also had movies to rent for $1 a day. The movies came in an old brown case with a title made with typewriter text printed on an index card that was taped on. We cherished that store, and now, almost 40, I have the urge to go into any laundromats that I pass by. Second, I don't understand the wipe system. I guess I should say that I understand the rating side of the wipe system, but who is out there wiping their ass with a half wipe or even worse, a quarter wipe? I don't think I'm alone in this. With the serious questions out of the way, here is my commission movie request, Revenge of the Ninja from 1983. Why? Because at the time that I wrote this, I don't think I've seen a single ninja movie on your list. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, ninja movies were everything to me. When I was too poor to get a Spider-Man costume, I took a black knee-high stocking and stuffed my head into it. I was a ninja. I was 10 years old doing cartwheels, flying kicks, and pretending a twig was a bow staff in my backyard. I seriously think all of my martial arts skills were developed from my reenacting what I saw from martial arts movies. My imagination absolutely ran wild, wanting to be a ninja. While action movies still run strong, it seems the way of the ninja has slowly entered the endangered movies list. When was the last time you saw a ninja movie hit it big? You just don't anymore. They may have been corny, but they were action-packed and fun to watch. And even though my movie request may end up as the diarrhea version of Mount Vesuvius's eruption, you have to admit that you smiled and enjoyed the movie. In the end, that's what it's all about. Thank you for the years of entertainment. I appreciate all you do. yours truly, Jason Mills from Missouri. P.S. Fort Leonard Wood says hello, Big D.
Oh, Jason. I don't know if we just recorded, so I'm about 4 drinks in. So I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm feeling a kindred spirit with you. You're speaking my language. Fort Lost in the Woods. Yes. Your childhood out with a bow staff, like thinking you're a ninja. You're speaking my language. Oh, man, this is bringing back memories. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think this is the untapped DNA that men of our generation don't talk about, which is our fucking ninja pasts, right? I remember tying like waistband elastic to myself and jumping off the stairs in my house because I thought I could like ninja rappel, right? I would make my own ninja toys. And I'd like to believe, Jason, that if ninjas do exist, they're the ones using a quarter wipe of toilet paper. It's just a smidge.
Yeah, but I think after reviewing this film, Gene, we're going to talk about how what we see on screen affected our expectations. It makes sense now why you would think you could throw yourself off the roof, why you would think a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie cinched up would look like a ninja.
And why you think that cartwheels and tumbling are the most effective way of fighting.
Yes, it all makes sense.
Well, Revenge of the Ninja is a 1983 martial arts thriller directed by Sam Furstenberg, starring martial artist Sho Kosugi, Keith Vitale, Virgil Fry, and Kane Kosugi. The plot follows a ninja trying to protect his only son from a cabal of ruthless gangsters. It is the second installment in Canon Films' Ninja trilogy, starting with Enter the Ninja in 1981 and ending with Ninja 3, The Domination in 1984. Revenge of the Ninja was very successful at the box office, despite receiving mixed reviews from critics. So, Big D, as the senior ninja of the podcast, let's start with you. What are your memories of Revenge of the Ninja?
Well, first off, Gene, I like that your delivery is becoming very ninja-like. What do you remember of the ninja, Big D? I really do appreciate it because, man, this was a big time for kids of this age. And it was because ninjas were so new. You know, we had traditional heroes. We had G.I. Joe. We had action American heroes. We had over the top. But like this mysterious new action hero. Enter the Ninja came out in 81, and this kicked off like a craze from the 80s. It was everywhere. And ninjas were different because they were mysterious. They were skilled. They were warriors. They had cool gadgets and weapons. They had swords, throwing stars, nunchucks. It was fast-paced action. It was martial arts. There was stealth. There was mystery. We didn't know why are they doing it, who pays them, how did they train. We did not know. It didn't matter. If you had the right equipment, you could be a ninja. And as a fat American kid, I thought I could be a ninja. I didn't throw myself off a roof, but I thought if I had those like claw things, I could scale a tree. I could be stealthy. No, I could not. Gene, ninja and ninja movies ended me up in the hospital. We would cut off the top of like a can of beans, and that became our ninja throwing star. And you know the way ninjas catch their stars, like with the hands together, palms, right? So my friend, Eddie, I'll just call him, I don't leave his last name. He threw a ninja star at me. I caught it, but drove it through the meaty part between my thumb and the next finger. I did not act like a ninja. I saw the wound. I passed out immediately. I woke up in the emergency room with 15 stitches. But ninja movies made me think that a fat 13-year-old could be a ninja. And sadly, I could not.
And they started you on your martial arts career that you still keep up with today. I just imagine you like Frank Dukes, like Jean-Claude Van Damme's, waking up every morning, doing the splits on the balcony.
I work on my stealth every day.
Yeah, see?
Every day.
Just hiding from your family.
Every day. I walk around very stealthy. Socks. Yeah. I try to make as little noise as possible.
Also, if anyone was offended by Big D's ninja accent, I just want to point out that, I don't want to encourage anybody to drink if they are against drinking or if you have a drinking problem. Please don't start or restart. But we have been drinking, and Big D's had a few cocktails.
Oh, yes.
And so earlier tonight, we did a live stream of Invictus, and he was very nervous about doing a Nelson Mandela accent. I see that nervousness is washed away completely, and we might be getting some of our trademark Big D voices tonight.
Yes, I never dreamed about being a South African president, but I did dream about being a ninja. So I think that's why I feel free to let my ninja ways go.
The power of film. I've seen so many ninja movies. American Ninja, Three Ninjas, Beverly Hills Ninja, Ninja Turtles, even just straight up Ninja. I had never seen Revenge of the Ninja before Jason's commission. And granted, I haven't seen those other ones in a while. But as of right now, in my head, Revenge of the Ninja might be the most ninja movie that ever ninja movied. It's got everything. It's got all of the hallmarks of a ninja movie wrapped into one. Most importantly, a father protecting his son. Let's hit the trailer.
Ninja, the perfect assassin. The greatest ninja warrior vows to give up killing.
My sword is sealed forever.
But a ninja cannot escape his destiny. It will follow him from the gardens of Japan to the streets of America.
Get those people out of here.
The heroin spilled out.
Damn it!
He's caught in a drug war between the American mafia and the Japanese Yakuza.
Are you trying to tell me there's ninjas running around there killing people in the 20th century?
The Black Ninja. A disciple of evil who kills for pleasure. Only a ninja can stop a ninja. Now, high above the streets of Los Angeles, he must fight the killer who was once a friend. Ancient Japanese warfare explodes in America. It's the ultimate martial arts adventure. No one can survive. The Revenge of the Ninja. Revenge of the Ninja, a Golan Globus production from the Cannon Group.
In Japan, the home of Cho Osaki is attacked by an army of a rival ninja clan, resulting in the slaughter of his entire family except for his mother and his younger son, Kane. When Cho arrives at his estate and discovers the carnage, the ninjas attempt to kill him as well. But Cho, a highly skilled ninja himself, avenges his family and kills the attacking ninjas. Afterward, he swears off being a ninja forever and moves with his son and mother to America, where he opens an art gallery with the help of his business partner and friend, Braden, and his assistant, Kathy. Big D, we're going to be verging on prejudice and racism throughout this podcast. I just want to get that out of the way here.
And we just came off of a film about apartheid, but we're concerned. Yes, we're concerned.
Much more serious
racism.
when we're talking about
much
ninja.
more.
I feel like you can judge a Japanese restaurant by the number of Japanese people eating there. And likewise, I think you could judge a martial arts movie by the names in the opening credits. So Revenge of the Ninja opens. It's got like the Chinese restaurant font on there. And we get Revenge of the Ninja starring Keith Vitale, Virgil Fry, Arthur Roberts, and Mario Gallo. Okay? Notice none of those names are an Asian actor. Okay? Keith Vitale, that's Dave the cop. Arthur Roberts, that's Lieutenant Dime. He's like a minor character. Arthur Roberts, that's Braden. And then Mario Gallo, that's Caifano. Okay? He also happened to be the trainer in Raging Bull. Point is, like, they went really light on the soy sauce when they made this movie.
Man, I can't deny, I came into this excited. I was looking forward to this because ninjas, Gene.
Yeah.
It's taken us this long. Ninjas. I remember ninjas. It's clear in my memory. And we get the opening. And it's exciting. It's supposed to be fast paced. And I remember my childhood thinking, I cannot wait. Ninjas. How did we wait so long? And we don't have to wait long, Gene, because we meet the characters and a group of ninjas attack. It is 5 minutes in. It is fast. They slaughter a village. And it's immediately clear. Young Big D, we hold the horses. This is not the kind of movie you remember. I got to recalibrate my expectations for the choreography. Now, I was not expecting too much. I did not come into this expecting that this is going to be the police story. Jackie Chan is amazing. His choreography, his skills. I was not expecting John Wick or even 2005's Killzone. I was not expecting that. But what I got was absolutely laughable. There's an attack. Cho's family is butchered in this village. And the ninjas, there's a guy doing a split over a bridge. Why? There's a ninja falling off of a roof. Why? Chow catches 3 arrows, 2 in his hand, 1 in his mouth. Why? Have you seen that TikTok trend where you like get people to hold their glasses together and then you pull them apart? And the reel does it in reverse, like you're toasting. We get that, but it's a ninja toast. And they all have the weapons and blades in the back of some of the victim. There's a ninja star in the kid's forehead. Young mother, arrow through the chest. There's a dance move where the head ninja does this thing like, hey, ninjas assemble. They all come in hands up, and one by one, they do a dance move around Cho. And I'm thinking, was my childhood this wrong? Did I get this so wrong?
Ninja guy on the roof? He's an absolute goofball. Like, this guy is standing upright. Cho has no idea he's there. He's got his sword out. Instead of, like, I don't know, dropping any of his assorted ninja weapons on Cho's head or, you know, just dropping a brick on his fucking head, he basically tries to lie down on the roof and, like, stab downward, which only ends up getting him impaled. You mentioned the TikTok trend there. These guys are, like, 6-on-1. Simultaneous strikes to the same target. And then you don't realize until they fan out with the ninja leader orchestrating the whole thing. There's like 20 dudes. There's 20 ninjas sent to kill a family of 5. It's like an old man, some women, and children. Do they really even need ninjas? Couldn't you just get like any 20 Japanese guys to come kill these dudes?
No, but I question, they highlight many times the ninjas have been gone for 400 years, 300 years. But yet my grandfather, my father died on this land. Sometime were the 80s like full, were like 1980s Japan full of ninjas attacking from the roof? There's ninjas stuck in the trees. There's ninjas down in the grass. There's ninjas everywhere, but none of the ninjas are quite skilled.
By the way, this is the equivalent of like if in the United States, right, you had like an assassin sent to come get you, and he was dressed like Davy Crockett or like a colonial Minuteman, right? Just because someone's occupation is assassin doesn't mean they're going to be wearing 16th century ninja garb.
No, but you're supposed to be stealthy, right?
Yeah,
Stealthy
blend
assassins, black outfits. What's up with the accessories? The bright red headbands and like sashes or belts?
No, fuck that. Dress up like you're the mailman. I don't know if they have a mailman in Japan in the 80s, but I assume that, yeah. Well, I mean, in rural areas, I understand Japan has
they got fucking service. Ninjas. They better have mail, like a postal service, but don't wear bright accessories. That definitely ruins your stealthy like abilities.
One night, Kane accidentally drops and breaks open one of the dolls, exposing a white dust contained therein. As it turns out, Braden has been using the doll gallery to smuggle heroin. He tries to strike a deal with Caifano, a mob boss, but Caifano and Braden cannot find common ground and eventually engage in a turf war. Braden, as a silver demon-masked ninja, assassinates Caifano's informers and relatives. The police are confused about the killings, and local police martial arts trainer and expert Dave is assigned to find a consultant. He persuades his friend Cho to see his boss, and Cho attests that only a ninja could commit these crimes, but he refuses to aid the police any further.
So if I'm trying to break a case, Gene, I'm going to go to a man named Dave.
Dave.
So Dave is going to help us solve this case. And any kid in the 80s who loved ninjas, what you loved was the equipment. You know, so I want to take this time to discuss some of the equipment, the gadgets that ninjas are used, because that defines a ninja's abilities and ninja movies, and see what is common, what's ridiculous. Because this movie goes the extreme, right? It starts off and we get the traditional stuff, the Ninja Turtle stuff, right? We get sais, we get katana swords, we get throwing stars, we get a blowgun, we get a bow and arrow, and then we get into like the more specialized stuff that I don't remember as a kid. There's like a magic component, like a magician. There's a lot of misdirection. We get smoke bombs, we get spark bombs, a lot of rope. We get some like grappling hooks, we get a rope ladder. And it seems like every weapon is more than it seems. It's like a transformer. Hey, you grab a piece of the molding of a room. Hey, guess what, Kane? That's now a bow staff. And then the enemy could pull off the end. That's a dagger. And you pull it off again. That's a chain and nunchucks. Gene, and now we get to ridiculous. There's a point where the main ninja Cho has mouth spikes in his mouth. He's been carrying the whole time, and he just waits until they just pull down his mask and he spits them out. You get those climbing claws that fat little Big D thought I could climb a tree. No, they're climbing concrete buildings. They've got spikes, and you throw marbles on the floor. They fall on them and faceplant. Zip lines between buildings. No problem. Let's just hook them into the lighting pot of the drywall. We're going to just zip across the room. They can hypnotize people. Ninjas, they're like wizards, Gene. I don't remember that. Green eyes, you can make people do what they want. Flamethrowers, Gene, out the bottom of your outfit. How are you going to fight martial arts with a flamethrower? And then it gets even more ridiculous, Gene. I'm going to lure you to the jacuzzi, and then I have a robot hand that's going to reach up and grab you, and that will distract you from my full body double ninja robot, which I've been obviously carrying around my entire time in my ninja like Santa sack of endless weapons that will distract you until I can eventually scare you, kill you, do something with you.
As Jason's advocate on this podcast, I'm going to say that if you're watching this in a theater, or if you're watching it at home and you're high or drunk, like these are the moments where you're like, yeah, right? Like the full ninja body double. Come on. Like the robot arm. Like it's not good filmmaking. Don't get me wrong here, but wow. I mean, those are some wow moments. You're like, oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
That's what they went with. Spitting in the guy's face. That's what they went with. That's not the problem I have. Here's the problem I have. Okay. And the police detective, he says it out loud. Lieutenant Dime, right? He's like, you're telling me that there's ninjas just running around LA? It's supposed to be LA, right? Yeah. What are these 16th century ninjas doing in 1983? Guns exist. So beyond all these other things, flamethrowers and all that shit, if you're truly ninjas and you want to really fuck shit up, give the ninjas guns. We see Braden, he caps like 3 ninjas off a rooftop at range with a handgun. Why don't the ninjas have guns? And are any of these weapons that they're carrying as lethal as a firearm?
Well, again, you think back like 300-400 years ago, you had to dedicate the time to train to be deadly.
Oh, so
because the technology wasn't there, right? Why do you think ninjas disappeared? Gunpowder. You had people, you didn't require skill. You can give a knucklehead a gun. You give some of these goons a gun, and they're deadlier than the ninjas. It's technology. There's a reason why it happened.
Okay, so it doesn't answer the Braden question, though, which is Braden is a ninja who trained for 20 years, and he knows how to use a gun. Why is he just shooting everybody?
Man, be a hybrid. Yes, a gun-toting ninja. That's double deadly.
I'm going to carry my little medicine bag around, my doctor's bag, and shoot blow darts at people.
Yeah, but Gene, I question the credentials of all ninjas displayed in this movie, and we'll discuss it later because there may be some cosplay or little people like elaborating on their skills as a true ninja.
Well, in order to avoid payment for his merchandise, Caifano sends 4 men to rob the gallery. Cho walks into the gallery while the thugs are loading the goods in a van. He is attacked and responds with hand-to-hand combat. The henchmen escape with Cho in pursuit, but he fails to stop the thieves from getting away. Meanwhile, Braden stealthily arrives at Cho's art gallery to find it was just looted. Cho's mother and Kane both encounter him. Braden kills Cho's mother, but Kane manages to elude him. Cho, badly mangled, returns to find his mother murdered and his son missing. Now, you might have just heard me say that Caifano sends 4 men to rob the gallery. And really, what I should have said is he sends what looks like the Beastie Boys from the Sabotage video and Kevin Nealon dressed up like a Halloween Indian, complete with like hair ribbons and moccasins. That's the guys that are burgling. That's the guys that are burgling the gallery. Chief, okay? Appropriately played by Don Shanks, who you might have recognized. That's Grizzly Adams' buddy, Nakoma. Anyway, Chief, what is he doing in this movie? This is a ninja movie. You've got random Indian like warrior. He's apparently employed by the mob as a thief, but he also like hides dual tomahawks in his pants, and he hits ninjas with like WWE top rope apple crate smashes. What is happening?
Yeah, but this raised a bigger question, right? Because, like, first of all, like this gallery, the idea is they're going to smuggle drugs, but they said they have 12 dolls and then 12 dolls in the back. That's not much drugs. That's really not
Heroin's
much.
Expensive.
It's a small operation, but we get out here and now we get Chief, who is obviously he is a Caucasian actor, and he is going to defeat Chow. Chow is a ninja. He's sworn off violence. Chow is defeated by a bag filled with recycling cans, like aluminum cans that have been smushed. They swing the bag and Chow is down. He's on the ground. He's defeated. I don't understand. He's supposed to be a skilled ninja, but he's struggling. I don't want to say I'm disappointed at this point, but I expected more from a ninja. Show your skill. Don't be a white guy in long hair and a fucking Indian outfit swinging a bag of like aluminum cans. That shouldn't defeat a ninja.
Okay, just for posterity's sake, and because people are going to write us actually, Don Shanks is of Cherokee descent, so as you will. But yeah, here's the thing. This is about world building, and I can't believe I'm even talking about world building with Revenge of the Ninja. But the deal is that we've entered guns into the equation. We see that Braden shoots some ninjas. We see that there's a gun in the dash with these guys. Now, they could have been like, hey, Caifano tells these guys no guns allowed because if you get pinched by the cops, whatever. I don't know what the fuck reason. But anyway, the gun is in the dash. They grab the gun, and now you're trying to explain to me that they can't hit a guy who's just rolling back and forth. Then Cho gets tagged by one of those hatchets, by one of the tomahawks. He's cut. And in this description, I said that he returns to his gallery badly mangled. Let's talk about what's happened to Cho today, okay? As you mentioned, he got hit by some recycling. He's been dragged behind a speeding van. He's been beaten with fists, elbows, the aforementioned apple crate. He was slashed across the belly with an axe. But he walks himself back home, and all he's got going on is like his pants are slightly torn up. He's got an artfully deconstructed shirt that's showing off his muscles. And the only reason this caught my attention is that everybody else in this movie, they get like a shuriken to the eyeball, and it's like, it's graphic. Like there's blood and all kinds of tissue and shit. It's in their head. This guy looks like, makeup spent 5 minutes on him. And I don't understand how a movie that put so much time and effort into showing us wounds from throwing stars just phoned it in when it came to our heroes' injuries.
No, and I understand, like, okay, he's made a vow. He's sworn off violence. He's left the ninja way. He's left Japan because it costs his family. He's now like non-violent. He's sworn off. He's not going to do anyway. But it's a different situation here at this point. Your mother's been killed. Your son's kidnapped. Your girlfriend's kidnapped. There's immediate danger. They've just robbed your gallery. Have some urgency. Instead, he takes his sweet ass time. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to get some eyeliner, get some mascara. He's got to do a full ceremony. He's got to get dressed in his outfit. He's got to break the seal. He's got to light some incense. It's a lot of time. Normally we get like armoring up, like scenes, like Commando. It's not when your family member is immediately in danger, but he takes his time. And I'm just like, man, get on with it. Go rescue your friends.
I guarantee that somewhere at the Cannon Group Inc., our old friends Golan and Globus, they left behind this dusty old storyboard, and there's a timeline on it. And there's Cho and his life in America, and then there's a distinct point where Revenge of the Ninja hits the revenge part. And the idea is that Cho must transform back to the ninja, and that takes time. It can only come after he's been pushed to a certain point. And once you pass that point, he's not going to fight you with fans in the park. He's not going to flutter his fans at you in business casual. This is war. And then he's got to gear up in his own ninja way.
They're very patient. I guess we were being introduced. They're very patient.
To finish The Last Witness, Braden hypnotizes Kathy, who is in love with Cho, to find and bring in Kane. When she recovers her senses, Kathy contacts Cho and informs him of Braden's treachery and the fact that Braden is a ninja. Seeing his only remaining son in mortal danger, Cho breaks his devotion to nonviolence and makes his way to Kaifano's headquarters to stop Braden. In the meantime, Braden finds out about Kathy's betrayal and prepares to have her executed. Kane manages to free himself and Kathy, and the two inform the authorities.
So this is 83. Ninjas are a new thing in America. It's a new thing to us, Gene. We're watching this. So maybe our expectations were less than they are today. And I think we have to entertain at least the thought that maybe Braden and Chow, they're mediocre ninjas, because nothing they demonstrate on screen makes us think that they're actually skilled, good, like top level ninjas. Nothing, all the way to the very end. Cho struggles to protect himself in the park against 4 guys dressed as village people. It's not like he's fighting off the group attacking his family, which he failed early on in the movie. One of them is dressed as like a dungaree cowboy with like a feather boa. There's a black guy who's dressed in like roller skates, like 4 roller skates, knee pads, helmet, safety gear, elbow pads, the whole thing. There's a white guy dressed as some kind of martial artist, I don't know. And Cho struggles to defend himself with a paper fan. He has an option of a 2x4. Oh, I'll take the paper. That's not very badass. Not very badass at all. Kathy claims that Kane is like his father. He can sense when people are lying. They couldn't sense that Braden was a ninja. They're not very good. You've not developed your skills over 20 years as an assassin, and then Braden chooses to kill his victims in a hot tub and sauna. This is not what top-level ninjas do.
I mean, you're right in the sense that we don't ever see like a sanctioning ninja body that confers the title of ninja upon these two dudes. They both studied somewhere apparently, but we don't know if they're actually just like Japan's worst ninjas.
No.
Well, they're not as bad as the guys that they killed.
No, but how do we believe them? This could be like stolen ninja valor. They're in America. Braden, Did you really study 20 years? Cho, are you really a ninja?
Yeah, but here's the thing with stolen valor, you're using that to present yourself to people, whereas as a ninja, you're supposed to be stealthy. It's the opposite of stolen valor. It's not like they're going to like they're not going to like ball games and trying to get discount tickets.
No, but I think it's the surprise factor. Like ninjas are so new in the US. People are like, wow, what do I expect? Oh man, he's really badass, but I could defeat him with a bag of recycling cans. No, I think it's very shocking.
I'm still not so sure about what happened at that park.
No.
Like, you mentioned the village people. Like I 100% thought that when they went to the park, they were going to like interview like the local gay boys to find out what they knew, like they had a connection or something. And then Cho and Dave just start attacking them. And they show up, they kick a table in half, they start assaulting people at the park. And I have to ask, like, it's possible, right? That Dave and Cho just massacred a bunch of guys who didn't know anything about the burglary, the kidnapping, or the assassination. Like Cho stabs a dude through the foot, but they never get any information out of them. It's like they just happened to be at the park that day.
Well, I think Dave is so gung-ho to get in with Cho, who is like the master. But this is, again, traditionally like the 80s vision of like what would some criminals look like. It would look like a ragtag bunch of guys. I don't think that true like criminals who are out committing like violent crimes are going to be sitting on a park bench in the middle of the day among kids playing, like rollerblading, and they look like maybe they were just all like line dancing at a local club. This might have been, like you said, Gene, a multicultural group of friends trying to bond in LA until they were assaulted by a cop and his ninja Japanese friend.
Now, you did talk about ninja stolen valor and about people not being able to prove their mettle with martial arts. I do want to call out one person in this movie who is a legitimate badass, and that's Kane, little kid. So this Cho's son. And aside from being the best martial artist in this movie, he looks good. Like his shit looks believable. He brings some serious awesome to Revenge of the Ninja. He's kicking people in the dick. He's getting thrown around by adults, like legit thrown around by adults. He's being really quiet as a baby in the bushes at the beginning. I was very impressed. Having now spent time with a baby, I know that they can't shut up at all. And most importantly, perhaps, Kane is taking the time to appreciate some big wet jugs in the midst of this utter chaos. If you watch this movie, and I encourage you to watch this movie, it's free on Tubi. You can go to the scene where Kathy's on the phone. She's just been rescued from the jacuzzi of doom. Okay. She's got a white tank top and you can see everything. And about maybe 12 inches from her boobs, it's Kane's head right at boob level. You just see the back of his head, but he is, by God, locked on like a Sidewinder missile. I just thought, good work, son. Like, even if you're working today, pay attention to those boobs.
But you got to talk about Kathy here. I'm thinking about this actress. Again, I'm a father of a daughter. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be her big break. Kathy has got her role. She's coming out there. This might be the worst role that any actress has ever gotten. She gets out there, and we're introduced to her as she's going to do a sparring scene with Cho, pantsless. She might be wearing a thong. And Cho says, Kathy, you've helped me so much. Maybe I should pay you. I guess he's not paying her. She's forgot her pants. He's like, do you even want to train? She really serves no purpose other than to be very attractive. She wants to sleep maybe with both the antagonist and the protagonist, but it's and play mom to it's a huge mess for poor Kathy.
Yeah, Ashley Ferrari. For those not in the know, she was a model in Salt Lake City when they were filming this movie, and I think that speaks volumes. However, she does have other acting credits, so not a diss on her, but it's not the role of a lifetime by any means. And Big D, I know you're normally the king of tinfoil here at Shut the Movies, but I have two theories that I wanted to throw at you for consideration.
Okay.
Well, flipping the script here a little bit.
Let's do it.
Turning the tables. Okay. The first one, Cho must have done some nasty shit back in the day. Okay. When those ninjas first massacre his family, his mom says Cho can't escape his karma, okay? Which implies that this is payback from some past transgression. Like he must have done something to piss some people off where his family has been like fucked with for this long. And again, he vowed nonviolence, which implies that prior to that, he was very pro-violence. But the second, darker theory, Salt Lake City is running out of henchmen. Did you notice that they just kept getting worse? In most movies, you build up to final boss, but we see Caifano, he employs a small army. But after his top guys get taken out, his guys are growing increasingly unskilled and generic. And on the other side of this turf war, it's even worse because Braden, he goes from having odd job, like legit, it's odd job.
It's odd job. Yeah.
That's his lieutenant.
Oh.
He kills him, and then he gets another guy who I swear runs the grill at YC's Mongolian Barbecue by my house. I don't even know what that guy does. That guy just hangs around the sauna and the hot tub and like smiles.
I thought he wasted odd job. That's your henchman. Don't let him go just because he's going after Kathy. That's expected.
Well, expected. He was actually ordered to do so.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Braden's like, hey, if she gets out of line, you know what to do. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. And then Braden shows up and he's like, don't do that, and kills him.
Yes. I totally agree. And the fact we talk about here, Cho's mother, that scene where she's being attacked and she goes, she like cracks that smoke screen. She disappears behind that like rotating screen. She gets stabbed. I remember ninjas being skilled. I remember ninjas being intimidating, but this is a bunch of like amateur shit that Caifano's crew, it fits in with them.
I'm surprised that's what you said. I thought you were going to bring up the fact that when she does like that flip on the sparring mat, it's totally a different person.
Yes, I wish Ash was here because we talk about robot jocks.
Yeah.
It's a man. That is a man who does the backflip and then gets stabbed. This is our stunt man, ridiculous slow-mo. I slowed it down. That's a man. That's a man's man.
Well, Braden makes his final assault on Caifano and his organization, killing all he encounters. Eager to help Cho, Dave also rushes to Caifano's headquarters, but is ambushed by Braden, who mortally wounds him. Cho rushes to help his faithful friend, but Dave dies in his arms. Braden and Cho duel to the death on top of Caifano's skyscraper. After a long fight, Cho manages to kill Braden and is reunited with his son and Kathy as the film draws to a close.
So those of you who've not watched this film in some 40 years, at this point in the movie, there is no more lies between the characters. There's no more secret identities. There's no more mystery. Chow knows that Braden, he is the silver ninja who killed his mother, kidnapped his son and his girlfriend. And he's the one who planned the whole drug doll, like drug scam. Caifano, the whole crime family, they know that Braden is the ninja who's killed his guys. And he's coming right now because he said, hey, I'm coming right now to your headquarters. Why does anyone keep up the charade? Why would anyone not talk to each other? Cho and Braden, they're friends. Say, hey, dude, you have my son. Where is my son? Instead, they keep playing it. Hey, we get 25 minutes of parkour and magic up on the rooftop in broad daylight in fucking Salt Lake City. Everyone can see you out in front of the headquarters. There's 15 dudes with assault rifles and shotguns. This is ridiculous. It goes off the rail, Gene, so fast.
The irony is none of it needed to happen.
No.
Cho makes a speech to Dave, who is a cop. This is no job for police. No, actually, what we're dealing with here is a kidnapping, a burglary, murders, and drug smuggling. This is precisely a job for police. Could you imagine Braden doing his magic and his backflips and his fucking zip lining versus a police sniper or a cop who just happens to know Glock Fu? This movie's over in like 5 minutes. And I need some help understanding the ending of this movie. Okay, I get that Cho wins and Braden dies. That's fine. Why was Braden killing Caifano's guys in the first place? And beyond that, why did he fuck with Cho's mom? Like, let's rewind a bit. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Braden, he tricks Cho into importing heroin through the dolls in his gallery. Okay, this is a plan 6 years in the making.
Yeah.
You got to get a guy to the United States. I'm assuming get him a green card. You got to get him a gallery. Bring his kid over. Bring his mom over. Okay. You get the dolls. You got to find somebody to put heroin in them. As you said, Big D, 24 dolls.
$24.
Huge shipment of heroin there. All right. Get it all there. Then you go to your buyer, Caifano, and you say, hey, you got to pay me right now. I need the money right now. And Caifano says, hey, get fucked. I'm going to pay you in a few days, and I've already paid you $100,000. Based on that conversation, Braden decides to kill Caifano's men and eventually Caifano and Cho's mom. All right. What does that leave you with? It leaves you with a ninja who wants to kill you and no buyer. You want to kill the buyer. Okay. And you don't even have the dolls because Caifano's guys stole them and then crashed the van full of heroin. You got nothing.
But not even to ruin it. Why is Cho even involved? Why? Why? Braden, go buy the drugs, import them. You've lived in Japan for 20 years. You bring them in. You have the connection. You've made it more complicated.
Because if you're a white dude in Salt Lake City who starts importing a lot of Japanese dolls, people are going to ask questions.
A lot of Japanese dolls, 24 dolls. I'm importing 24 dolls.
But they're really nice dolls.
They're great dolls. They're great.
All right.
dolls.
Now's the time in the podcast where we give our Shat score for Revenge of the Ninja. The Shat score is our way of telling you how many wipes this movie takes to get out of respective butts. 0 wipes is a perfect movie. It's when your shuriken passes through the gate of the eyes. And 5 wipes is an absolute disaster of a movie. It is Death by Jacuzzi. I'll go first. Big D, when we reviewed Invictus earlier tonight, I talked about how the cast overacted. Revenge of the Ninja shows what it is to underact. Everyone in this movie, their delivery is so stale. It is so devoid of meaning. I would be surprised if they actually understood the English language. And I'm talking about the American actors. The props look terrible. Particularly, they keep zooming in on this family necklace that Cho's mom won't stop displaying. It looks like it came out of like a skill crane machine. The villain, laughably dumb. The demon ninja, terrible. And kids, please do not attempt any of the weapon disarms shown in this film. They make zero sense. I was insanely frustrated with all the action, except for the robot ninja arm and the full ninja decoy. I thought those are pretty cool. Plus the smoke bombs are all right. Anyway, 4 3/4 wipes for me for Revenge of the Ninja.
Gene, this is a hard one because I remember the genre so well. And this is early on. It was setting the expectations for the next 20 years. But it was bad. It was disappointed. I don't know what excited me as a kid. I thought it would be fast paced. I thought there'd be like a lot of like quick martial arts that made me think I wanted to train. There was none of that. It was really bad. Like you talk about Kane, the child actor who plays. There are sparring matches, multiple with adults, where he is thrown to the floor violently that I'm thinking lawsuits would like result today. But yet he's there and I could see where they're choreographing and almost talking like, okay, move 1, 2, 3. And this poor child is being like beaten on the ground. And it just disappointed me. It was not what I remembered. And I'm hoping if our ninja genre will continue and we will do some future films, it will get better. But this is 4 wipes. This was pretty bad. And I don't know how the ninja genre became so influential in our generation's like childhood.
Well, with 4 wipes from you and 4 3/4 wipes from me, that comes out to an average wipe score of 4.375 wipes for Revenge of the Ninja.
So, Gene, it's a very disappointing wipe score with a score of 4.37 wipes. That now places this down in the 367 spot. It's down towards the bottom. It's around Highlander, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Predator 2, and Time Rider, Drop Dead Fred, and King Ralph. This is not where I expected this film would be.
No, we've had a recent string of surprises where things rated so much higher than we expected, and I really had a lot of hope for Revenge of the Ninja, but this ain't it. And it's not to say that this is like the worst of the ninja movies, but rather that maybe ninja movies just haven't aged that well. Maybe it's time for a ninja renaissance. Or maybe not. Well, Big D, before we close out, we got a couple fresh emails that just came in today. The first one comes from Eric, and he's writing in about Monty Python and the Holy Grail and math. He says, "Hi, Shatters. It seems like your math is wrong for Monty Python. Half a wipe plus 1 wipe plus 3 wipes equals 4.5. 4.5 divided by 3 is 1.5. Big D indicated that it was a 1.6 repeating. Please let me know if I got something wrong. Thanks, Eric." Now, Eric, it was probably me. I'm usually the one who does the math. And you are absolutely right. It is 1.5 wipes for Monty Python and the Holy Grail, not 1.6 repeating.
And gee, that little difference does make a big difference. That now ties it with some big films. Now it is slightly better than Clue, Leon the Professional, Risky Business, slightly worse than A Few Good Men, Christine, and One Crazy Summer. So I think it's adjusted to where it belongs.
There you go, Eric. Thanks for writing in. Next up, speaking of martial arts, we've got an email from James, who's writing in about Chuck Norris. He says, "Good evening, Shat Crew. First off, I'd like to thank you all for the enjoyment that I derive from your podcast. I'm closer to Big D's age, so it is nice to be able to relate to stories from growing up in that time. I now have 2 young boys myself and recently introduced them to Chuck Norris' badassery that is Invasion USA. It's campy and crappy, but we've all been laid up sick for a bit, so we watched some movies from my era, including Predator. Love that review. Anyway, I have not heard of a best of Chuck Norris as of yet. For God's sake, you did Seagal. Lone Wolf McQuaid and Invasion USA are my 2 favorites, although watching Invasion as an adult takes quite a bit of polish off the turd, but I still loved it. Thanks again for all the hours of entertainment. Also, I soon hope to commission one of what I think is a sorely underrated movie, Antonio Banderas and the 13th Warrior. I apologize if you've done the best of Chuck Norris recently. I went back to the beginning. I'm listening to your catalog from the start. Cheers, James Daggett."
So James, I responded and I wrote James, and thankfully we do have Delta Force coming up. Frank Fall commissioned this. It will be out in the beginning of the year. And I argue that Delta Force is the more definitive Chuck Norris badass film. And I'm excited to do it because we are deficient in that area.
And another fresh one we have comes from Leonard, who wrote in and said, "Hey, fellas, I love the show for Return of the Living Dead. I've listened to every episode, including all the Watchmen episodes, but I'm dropping the line about the rest of the Return of the Living Dead series. Part 2 is okay, but goes more for the laughs and has a really good soundtrack, kind of like Part 1. The others aren't that good and just plain rough to watch. Even as much as I love horror, they were cash grabs on the name alone. Thanks to the three of you for giving me the hours of listening pleasure. Your loyal fan, Leonard." So, Leonard, we also received an email during our Invictus episode from the commissioner himself, who pointed out that 2 and 3 were good, but that's about as far as you should go. Sounds like Big D was a little bit skeptical of that. It sounds like you're confirming that maybe you stop at Part 2, or maybe just stop at the first one.
I mean, I think it's hard to follow that movie up. Like, to do like a comedy, like a parody of zombie films, it's very difficult to succeed for 1, let alone 2 or 3. I think we might be better going into the serious zombie like genre, which we will be doing soon.
All right, Big D, and if you'll indulge me for one more, this one comes from Ted. It says, "Hello, Shat on TV. My name is Ted. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm in the process of being a United States Marine. I am currently an aircraft cleaner, and when at work or when cleaning at home, I turn on Shat, and man, you guys are such great hosts. Each one of you have your own personalities and views of each movie, and I appreciate it all, even your guest hosts as well. I recommend you guys all the time at work or even outside of work during gatherings. I do have a request. Could you guys maybe do an Al Pacino poll with movies including A Panic in Needle Park, Carlito's Way, Godfather 2, and Scent of a Woman? I just know you guys would enjoy these movies, and I can't wait to hear the different perspectives you have on the films. Much love and respect. Sincerely, Ted Torres." So, Ted, Carlito's Way is one of my favorite movies of all time. I would love to do it. If you're interested in commissioning it, we could absolutely do that. If you want, I could put it up for a crowd-funded movie, but I think it's long overdue. I have not seen Scent of a Woman. I've heard very good things about it. I've not seen A Panic in Needle Park. And of course, Godfather 2 is a classic. We have done the original Godfather, but we have not done Godfather 2.
Do you remember any other films we've done, Gene?
Oh, Al Pacino?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We did Devil's Advocate.
Very good. Very good.
We have done Scarface.
Oh, one more. No cheating.
I'm not cheating. And we have done...
Roger was not paying attention to the plot. It was very difficult.
Heat, of course.
Yes, there you go.
Yes. It's a great hint.
Yes, thank you. Yes, man, Al Pacino's great. I'm surprised we haven't done more. But I think any of those films, Carlito's Way, or even the Serpico would be great.
So many options. Anyway, Ted, thank you for your email. Thank you to everybody for writing in. Again, if you'd like to email us, you can email us host@shatpod.com, and we will hopefully get your email on the air, but definitely will read it. Also, if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can go to shatpod.com, use the SpeakPipe feature, and we'd love to hear your voice. Big D, what do we have coming up next week?
Gene, Molly is following her dream when she quits her cushy job tracking coaching positions at Prescott High School to become the boys football coach at the Inner City Central High. Even though she's faced with both racial and gender prejudices, she whips the team into shape so she can compete against Prescott High in the finals. All the while, Molly is also dealing with her ex-husband, Frank, who is trying to get custody of their 2 daughters. Commissioned by Scott S., came out in 86. And Gene, we need more Goldie Hawn in our pantheon of Shat. We're deficient, and this is an exciting entry into the Shat pantheon.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott, for commissioning the upcoming movie. Thank you, Jason, for commissioning Revenge of the Ninja. Thank you to all the commissions who make this podcast possible. That concludes this week's episode of Shat the Movies. Sure, follow us on social media, share with a friend. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram at Shat the Movies. Email us, host@shatpod.com. Support the podcast by shopping our Amazon affiliate link. buying our merch, or by commissioning your own movie. Find all the information by visiting our website, shatpod.com. Also, check out our sister podcast, Shat on TV, where we review TV series such as Lovecraft Country, Westworld, True Detective, Taboo, American Gods, Game of Thrones, and Watchmen. Find all the information on our website, shatpod.com/TV, wherever fine podcasts can be found, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. And if you stop by Apple Podcasts, please leave a 5-star review. It helps the podcast grow. On behalf of my co-hosts, Ash and Big D, I'm Gene Lyons. Join us next time for the following movie.
Molly McGrath always knew what she wanted.
Hey, you want to coach football? Fine, you got it. At Central High.
Her team, the Wildcats.
Ready to play, coach?
Do you want to play football?
Yeah.
Don't wear yourselves out. You want to get rid of me?
Absolutely.
You're in training as of right now. Put that out. You think a woman can't be tough enough? Watch me. Forgot my purse. No, I don't intend to coach a bunch of losers.
Man, how did your folks let you get like this? He probably ate his folks.
Your mama says you ugly. Hey! From here on out, I call the shot.
Tell him what to do.
Win, you turkey!
All right.
How are you enjoying the game thus far?
You make this point and every girl in the free world will want you.
You're being humiliated out there.
Get out of my face.
Goldie Hawn,
Are you sure I'm the right person for this job?
Wildcats. Football had it coming.